Welcome back, history lovers. Last time we talked about the fascinating world of Indus Valley civilization's missing link. Now let's fast forward few centuries and step into our incredible past of ancient Indian history, the Mauryan Empire. But before we dive into the rise of Maurya, let's talk about the powerful kingdom Magad. This was not just a kingdom, it was a dominant force in the subcontinent for decades. So, let's answer the question which arises in our minds that how this small territory, this Janpat, transformed itself into a mighty Magadh empire. As we know that after the decline of Indus Valley civilization, there is a significant gap in our historical records. Then a new civilization emerged in a fertile land of Ganga basin. This period saw a rise of Mahajanpads, 16 great kingdoms which dominated ancient India. These included famous names like Ang, Kasi, Kushal, Panchal, and a powerful kingdom Magad. All the 16 kingdoms are showing on your screen as a map. The political landscape of a 6th century BCE of India was a stage set for a conflict marked by a constant struggle of dominance between a monarchical states and republican states. In this Game of Thrones, the Magad emerged as an undisputed winner. Magad was uniquely positioned to succeed because it systematically suppressed its rival by using the combination of military power and strategic diplomacy. But the question here is what gave Magad an incredible advantage? There are multiple factors which contributed to a rise of Magad Empire, which we will explore next. It is true that the powerful and foresighted kings of Magad certainly contributed to its rise, but they also have a secret weapon their geography. Magad was blessed with the incredible natural advantage which make their rise inevitable. Firstly, let's talk about the land itself. The fertile alluvial plain of the Ganga basin provided a solid foundation for agriculture. And this was not just about food. It guaranteed a massive surplus, founded a regular source of revenue, provided a political stability and also economic stability. If you simply put, Magadh had the wealth to afford its ambitions. This agriculture surplus led to the second point a strong and professional army. A well fed population and a booming treasury allowed the Magadhian kings to maintain a large standing army, which gives them a defensive military edge over their rivals. The third factor is Magad was a metal powerhouse. This region had access for a rich deposit of copper and iron ores. After the conquest of Ang kingdom, the supply of this crucial metal increased further, which means that they have access to a superior weapons and tools which gave them advantage for their soldiers on the battlefield. All his wealth and trade led to the emergence of thriving cities and towns. It means that it became the urban center of commerce, culture, and administration, which further strengthened the empire. Finally, let's talk about their capitals. The first capital, Rajgir, was surrounded by five massive hills, which act like a natural fortification. Their later capital, Patliputra, was also located at a strategic location at the junction of a Ganga and Son river, which gave them advantage at a riverine route and also defensive from outside invasion. So you can see that Magad's success was not a coincidence. It was a perfect combination of a brilliant leadership, strong economy, military superiority, and unmatched geographical advantages. Now let's talk about the true architect of a Magad empire. Let's talk about the Haryank dynasty's the formidable king Bimbisar. His reign started from 544 to 495 BCE. He was just more than a conqueror, the master strategist. He conquered a young kingdom which proved to be economic prosper to a Magadha empire because of the abundance of a copper and iron ores. But his real genius tactic lay in the use of a matrimonial alliance to strengthen his position without the battle. Devi is a sister of a king Prasanajit of Koshal. She brought a Kasi as a dowry. His second queen Chelenna is the daughter of a Lichavi chief of a Vishali. The third queen Khema is a daughter of a Madura king of Punjab. So Bimbisar also established a friendly relation with Avanti, his powerful rival, which also showcased his amazing strategic foresight rare for the time. So you can see that how powerful and able King Bimbisar is, which contributed to a establishment or making a powerful foundation for a Magad empire. And the next one is Ajat Shatru. After Bimbisar's death, Ajatashatru took the throne. His reign was from 495 to 461 BCE. He was relentless expansionist. His reign was known for a military innovation and conquest. His significant achievement was the conquest of a Vajji kingdom. Because of the conflict with his uncle, the king Prasanjit of Koshal, because of Kashi, led to a war. Ajatashatru defeated him and annexed the powerful kingdom Koshal into a Magad empire. He also expanded his reach to annexation of Vaishali too. His reign was significant regarding the groundbreaking technology by deploying the two incredible war machines. The first is Rath Musal, a war chariot with swinging blades, and second is Mahashil Kantak, a massive catapult used to hurl stone at enemy fortification. As you can see the images of these two war machines, you can imagine that which of army possesses them, it gave them a massive advantage in a warfare. You can see that how ruthless they can be. And these technological advancements for a Magad gave them a decisive advantage in a battlefield. So his reign truly marks the time when Magad went from a powerful kingdom to a dominant force in ancient India, a strengthening time period in a Magad history. As you can see the map, how Magad keep expanding from a Bimbisar to Ajatashatru. After the Haryang dynasty, the Shishunag dynasty came to a power. When Bimbisar maintained the friendly and peaceful relation with Avanti, this peace didn't last long. They quickly resumed their rivalry under the reign of Ajatashatru. So Shishunag dynasty has a significant achievement by finally putting an end to a century-old conflict by defeating the Avanti and absorbing the major powerful kingdom into a Magad empire. This dynasty also has another major achievement by changing the capital to a Patliputra at strategic location which gave benefit to Magad into a trade and also a defense too. Now came the Nand dynasty before the Mauryan Empire. They are also known as the first great conqueror. The founder of Nand dynasty, the Mahapadmanand, also known as the first great empire builder of ancient India by many historians. Although his origin is still debatable, but many Brahminical literature says that he doesn't belong to a Kshatriya clan. Mahapadmanand is a powerful and ambitious ruler. He also obtained the title of a destroyer of Kshatriya because he ruthlessly conquered a many small kingdoms across the Ganga basin. He absorbed many kingdoms like Ishkabaku, Kuru, Kling, and many more, and obtained the title of Ekrat, which mean that a sole ruler. Because of the conquest of almost all of the Gangetic Basin, Nand dynasty amassed a colossal army, which included a large infantry, cavalry, chariots, and formidable elephant corps. Their immense military power and vast wealth were well known. It is also said that Alexander was hesitant to advance further after hearing the Nanda's might. They established a more centralized and efficient administration system and also innovate a new system for taxation which allowed them to finance the vast military and public work. While historical sources debated about their names, it's still a widely accepted fact that there are total 9 Nand kings. The last ruler is a Dhananand. He is known for his greed and oppression. His exploitative system of taxation deeply resented by a people, making him unpopular. This widespread public discontent made a perfect opportunity to enter a two key figures, the Chandragupta Maurya and his strategist Kautilya. Now here's our main story begin, the rise of Mauryan Empire, which we can cover in the next episode. So till then, stay tuned and stay curious.